question which has been not question, but rather questions which are raised by Mr. Priyank Kharge. Do you think the RSS feels intimidated with questions like these when you pinpoint? And because the moment you speak to the RSS people, they say, "Oh, this is unnecessary rattling by Mr. Priyank Kharge. There is no substance in it. We are abiding by the law." This is the kind of I mean, how would you see this issue then? RSS will not acknowledge. They will not follow the rules. They'll keep saying that no, we have furnished all the details. And if Priyank Kharge continues to ask these questions, and now he's the Home Minister, and I'm sure he has the powers to take punitive measures, do you think that there can come a stage where some punitive measures could be taken against RSS outfits in Karnataka, their offices?
I do not know. Frankly speaking, I do not know. But I think that should be the logical consequence. That should be the logical consequence. If a Home Minister of the state is asking that you haven't got registered, and these are the 8 points, on that you have to answer back, and if you're not replying, then obviously there has to be the consequences. It's not that I'm not saying that the punitive action, but there has to be some notice given to the RSS and say, please explain, come and explain why you don't want to get registered. And then the Karnataka government will be well within his rights to do that. A Home Minister will be well within his rights to do that. You can't say that the government is not going to arrest you. Government just want to know. Yeah. They need clarification, and that's what the notices are to be served. So I'm sure that, see, if you see in the larger context, if we just leave this letter written by Priyank Kharge to Mohan Bhagwat for asking the accountability and the transparency questions, but I think this is a part of a much larger framework. I think the Congress has decided that let's take the bull by horn and let's take the battle to the enemy's territory. We can't remain defensive that RSS is there, so let's not talk about RSS. Let's not talk about Hindutva. And because it is not that Mohan Bhagwat is there. The issue is the BJP and the Modi government gets all kinds of oxygen and all kinds of power through RSS. And it is RSS Hindutva which gives them strength and power. So let's attack on the very edifice of the very foundation of the Modi government. And I think it is a part of that battle. And within that battle, I think this is a legitimate question that if you're not organized, if you're not registered, you should get registered. I think the question is right, but I'm not discounting that there is no politics behind it. If there is a politics, then obviously it has to be politically answered, but you can't come back and say that Hindu dharma ka bhi to kabhi koi registration nahi hua. You can't say something like that. Absolutely. You don't identify yourself with Hindu religion. Hindu religion is much bigger than what RSS is. And if I do not belong to the RSS, that doesn't mean I'm not a Hindu. Neelu doesn't belong to the RSS, doesn't mean that Neelu is not Hindu. So you are trying to tell me that RSS is Hindu. I take it as an offense. As a Hindu, I take it as an offense.
No, but Ashutosh, do you think that now the onus is also on Priyank Kharge to take this fight to a logical conclusion? Now, what could be that logical conclusion? Taking punitive actions, obviously they will not be arrested, but shutting down the offices, sealing the offices across Karnataka, at least they could do?
See, again, I'm not getting into the punitive action. I'm only saying is that from now onwards, RSS has to be careful. The Karnataka, any activity within the bounds of the Karnataka, if they think that certain questions are there and RSS, if operating within the 4 walls of the Karnataka, has to answer, then this is the legitimate call by the Karnataka government. Now the issue is very simple. RSS doesn't want to answer this question. So Congress wants to go to the people and tell them that if everything is all right, that why RSS is not replying to the letter written by the Home Minister of the Karnataka government. The fact is, this is going to be the talk of the town. Everybody is going to discuss this. And anything which becomes discussed, there will be people who will be for RSS, there will be people against them. But there will be many neutral people whose questions will be there in the head, that why they are not getting registered. See, this question, why they are not getting registered? But simple question. मैं आप क्यों नहीं register कराना चाहता? ये जो न्यूट्रल लोग हैं उनके दिमाग को तो ये बात हिट करेगी. So I think the purpose is that somehow you touch the most vulnerable part of the RSS, and sooner and later RSS has to get itself registered. Not now, maybe not in 4 years' time, maybe not the next year, but sooner or later they have to get it done. You can't come and say that no, I don't need to be registered.
No, so from what you were saying, I was just listening to you carefully. So, which means that we can arrive at a conclusion that this is the raw nerve of RSS. Sooner or later, you're saying that they will have to disclose all these details. They might be arrogantly saying, Mohan Bhagwat, as he said, that no, we don't. The Hindu Dharma doesn't get registered, but eventually they will have to. So now, can Congress put pressure? It just can't be there in Karnataka, which means that the other Congress-ruled states also will have to keep the pressure on RSS. So do you think that there could be a possibility where maybe a Revanth Reddy or a Sukhwinder Sukhu government also might do the same?
See, in politics, sometimes you don't take a punitive action, but still you win the battle. So the fact is that this is going to be the talk of the town, the whispering around. This will not create a positive perception about the RSS. This will create a negative perception about the RSS. यार ये रजिस्टर क्यों नहीं कराते अपने आप को? ये जो डाउट लोगों के दिमाग में जो कांग्रेस डालने की कोशिश कर रही है कि if they are so good, so pure, so they believe in Indian ethos, क्यों नहीं कराते? If they believe in the constitution, they should get registered. See, they started from where? When the constitution was adopted in 1950, they didn't want to follow the constitution. They didn't want to salute Tiranga. But once the Indian state put pressure on them, they were left with no other option than to swear by the constitution and salute Tiranga. And that was one of the conditions which Sardar Patel put on them, and that is why the ban was lifted from the RSS. And now they swear by the constitution and they blame others कि आप तिरंगे को सलाम नहीं करते तो आप देशभक्त नहीं. So the time will come when they will be left with no other option than to get it registered. Sooner they do it, it's better. Otherwise, Congress would love to have this discussion, discourse, and whisper across the country that why they don't want to get itself registered. That's simple.
Right. But Ashutosh, does it also not puncture BJP's narrative where they go around the town and ask for documents, ask the people, kagaz hame dikhao? So the people who refuse to show the documents, the same rule now applies for RSS as well. So it brings that narrative also.
Yes, कागज दिखाइए. हमसे आप कागज मांगे तो आप भी कागज दिखाइए. I agree with you. Completely agree with you.
So, which means that, so if this deadlock remains, Ashutosh, like what Bhagwat is saying, and I'm sure he's not going to disclose the details, and I'm sure they will take the Karnataka government head on, they will take Priyank Kharge head on, what could this turn into? Of course, it is a political fight and an ideological fight both. But how would the political fight manifest there?
See, if you remember on the last meeting in India Gathbandhan, Rahul Gandhi has categorically said that you can't fight BJP with the traditional way. You have to change your course. And then he uttered a word which has still not been very well defined. It is very intriguing word. We said resistance karna hoga. Now, what does he mean by resistance? Is it that the Priyank Kharge sending a letter to Mohan Bhagwat and asking him to get registered and explain about your donations, your taxes and all? Is it that way of out of the box thinking? A non-traditional way of confronting BJP and RSS and the Hindutva? Is it that? I'm not sure because I haven't talked to any congressman, so I'm not aware of it. But but
I think what you're saying is right, absolutely, Ashutosh, because it does look like an out-of-the-box idea, because there will be questions, and which are natural questions and obvious ones, that when UPA was in power, this kind of, taking the issue, taking the bull by the horn, we didn't see the UPA doing this with RSS. Never were those questions regarding the disclosures and registrations, sources of their income. Those questions were never asked during those 10 years of UPA.
Bilkul. So I think it's a way of taking the battle to the enemy territory. That's how I view it, and make BJP and RSS defensive because Modi because it's a BJP government, and you keep telling others that why don't you get registered? You show your accounts, you show your books, and if you haven't done anything wrong, then you have nothing to worry. And if you don't think that the government is doing justice, so you can go to the court. So let RSS go to the court. Let them go to the court and get the justice from there. But the fundamental question, see, it's like Prime Minister's education certificate. It's as simple. Matter is in the court, but people are openly talking about. भाई अगर आपके पास सर्टिफिकेट है तो दिखा दो ना. भाई मेरे पास सर्टिफिकेट है, नीलू अगर मुझसे मांगेगी तो मैं तो दिखा दूंगा आपको कि मैंने जवाहरलाल नेहरू विश्वविद्यालय से एमए किया, फिर मैंने एमफिल किया, ये मेरा सर्टिफिकेट है. अब मुझे 0 नंबर मिले या 200 नंबर मिले, इससे क्या फर्क पड़ता है? तो मेरे पास सर्टिफिकेट. So it's something like that. Everybody knows that there is something wrong. That is why the Prime Minister is not obliging people with his own certificates, educational certificate. I'm not saying that he hasn't done graduation. I'm not suggesting at all. But since you are not showing, you are not open about it. So people will talk about it. And there will be people who will be talking positive, there will be people who will be talking negative, and there will be neutral people who will be thinking, yaar, apna certificate kyun nahi dikha rahe? Same thing applies here.
No, so all those people who are thinking straight about RSS, at least Priyank Kharge's letter has seeded that doubt in everybody's mind that there's something really wrong.
Yes, it amounts to that. कि भाई कुछ तो गड़बड़ होगा, आप नहीं तो आप रजिस्टर हो जाओ. And it's very easy. I know, it's a very comfortable situation for the RSS because you don't have a membership list. So anybody can do anything. He might be an RSS member for a many years. But the minute he does something wrong, RSS can come out and say, "अरे तो मेरा आदमी नहीं है." You know, जब आपके पास कोई membership की list नहीं है, so there is no proof. When there is no proof, you can do anything and can get away. And RSS can get away easily. So that's a very comfortable route for the RSS. But now, in the eyes of the law, is that good enough? For an organization, get yourself registered. Simple.
But with the way the political fight is now manifesting and we are inching closer towards the 2029 polls, do you think that there could be some drastic measures against RSS because the ideological fight is also picking up along with the political fight? So how long can Mohan Bhagwat continue to say कि हम हिसाब किताब नहीं देंगे?
देखो वो तो मैं कोई confrontation अभी, it's just the beginning of a confrontation. It's a beginning of the confrontation on a legal ground.
Yeah.
But whether they'll take another drastic measure, I'm not very sure. I say ये एक तरीके का slow poison है. It's a kind of like धीरे लोगों के दिमाग में आप डालो कि ये doubt डालो भाई ये क्यों नहीं register करा.
Yeah.
So and it's not easy. See, to take any legal action other than sending a notice, it's not easy because today at the helm of affairs is Narendra Modi. Amit Shah is there. Then in 14 states, they have their own governments. In 22 states, they have a coalition governments. It's a very powerful government. And RSS has emerged as a very powerful organization. So it's not that easy to take a battle. It's not that easy to take a punitive measures against RSS. It's not that easy. But you shove them in the corner. This is basically to shove them in a corner and tell them, you preach to the whole world. Now you also follow. And seed that and put that doubt in the minds of the people. And it is this doubt in the minds of people which will damage RSS more than any punitive action.
Absolutely. So it's almost like a political bubble which has been generated and people will continue to enjoy, I think, till 2029 elections, till this ideological fight takes on a feverish pitch. We'll have to end it here. Thank you so much, Ashutosh, for a lovely conversation. Thank you.
Thank you.